It's all good, Jan.
Okay.
All
right.
good.
Okay, good. Well, thank you everyone for your patience here. I am technically challenged, which is no big surprise if you've watched this this recording ever. But I'm Jan Saunders-Marish, and I'm here with the Talk More, Sell More Club and Dr. Nancy Zier. I do the Talk More part of it, Dr. Nancy Zier.
I do sell more.
And today we're going to, our theme for May is how to spot the hottest prospects in the room. And this is really the foundation of our businesses, is finding the right people to connect with and to have as prospects and eventually as clients. But oftentimes what happens is we kind of get caught up in our cause and who we really want to help, and it's not good for our bottom line. So I want to give you some ideas today that are going to be helpful in having you find, customers who are going to actually pay you for what it is that you do. So let me go ahead and share my screen. And there we go. And
Great, we're seeing it now.
okay, good. So there we go. And I got ahead of myself, so I'll go. Okay, so let me move you guys. I'm moving you over to the side. I see everybody. And again, welcome to Talk More, Sell More. We are a team, and what I really love about working with Nancy is that we are working as a team to kind of fill your sales funnel so that when you do get into those sales conversations, you know how to sell to people who are in front of you. And what I'm going to be sharing with you today is just a little nugget from my 6-step success formula. And if you remember, this is the 6-step process I use to sell $1 million worth of a $20 product in 18 months. And this little segment I'm doing today is how to create your power circle. So you've all heard about your ideal client, your target audience, all of that. What we want to do is take this up a notch and really take a look at who is the most probable buyer that's going to want what you have to offer. So what's happening today is finding your most likely buyer using what I call the Big Five and the 4 pillars. Now, you probably have already done some preliminary work, or you might know exactly who your ideal client is, but I'm going to suggest a couple of other things today that might help you take a little closer look at who it is that you're targeting rather than kind of a shotgun approach. Really how we're going to niche people down so that they're the most likely buyers. And the first thing we're going to look at is, gosh, why did you get in this business anyway? Well, you probably like the field, you're good at it, and ultimately we all want to help people. And that's why most people get into a business. They've figured out the how to solve that big ugly monster problem, and now that you know how to do it, you want to share it with everybody else. So the difference between a buying audience and a non-buying audience is your reality. So when you are in front of a group, there are people who are more likely to be buyers than others. And so how are we going to identify them so that you're actually speaking to them and are gathering a better group to be speaking to? I have clients who say, gosh, you know, I did my first or second talk, and one client in particular that I can think of, and she ended up inviting people who have never given her a referral in their whole life, and invited them to an event that she hosted, and none of them bought anything. And she was wondering, why didn't they buy from me? Well, this is just because it was the wrong audience. And so it's really important to understand and take a closer look at who that might be and who actually is your client and what is it that they actually want. I mean, they're voraciously wanting what it is that you sell. Because when you can figure this out, this is the foundation of your business, okay? So it's the people, it's your clients, it's the people who you are serving. So how are we going to find better clients and those that are more apt to work with us? So the first part of this is your expertise, which we'll talk a little bit about. Next is to put them through called the Big Five filter. And finally, how to put them through the 4 pillars. And I'll explain all of this in just a little bit. So pretend that we are building a house, or let's just say a coliseum, okay? The coliseum of our business. All right, the foundation of that coliseum is your education, your experience, your training. It's your years of doing what you're doing, okay? And this is the X factor. This is what makes you different than everybody else out there, okay? So that's kind of a given, all right? The next piece of it is what I call the Big Five. And here's the interesting thing about the Big Five. 80% of your client's money or potential clients' money is spent in one or more of these 5 problem categories, okay? I'm gonna say it again. 80% of your client's money is spent in one or more of these 5 problem areas. So the trick of it is to take a look at these categories and figure out, what is it that I can do to attract more people in these particular areas. And that 80% spends their money to fix their big, ugly monster problem. So what is that big, ugly monster problem? It happens to be in these 5 categories that then are built on your expertise and training. Love, money, career, health, and time. So when you think of what it is that you do and the product offerings that you provide, are you appealing to someone who wants more money or wants to save money or who wants to spend their money on vacation? Love is pretty self-explanatory. Somebody who wants to make career, someone who wants to take, a step up from where they are to the next step. Health, someone who wants to lose weight or to be healthy, or one who wants to save time. So if you can figure out how many of those categories you're covering with your offerings, you're going to find people who will be more apt to spend money to help them in those 5 areas. And again, I made this a little bit bigger so you can take a note on it. Love, money, career, time, and health, okay? Now that you know what those 5 problem areas are, let's just take a look at this structure that you're building and take a look at the pillars that are going to get you to your power circle, to your ideal client. Okay, so the first one is, what is their big, ugly monster problem? What is the problem that they have that they want to solve? Next is, what is their goal? Once they have solved that problem, do they have a goal that they're trying to achieve? Next is your solution that plugs into that. And finally, how are you going to find people who have bigger wallets that want what you have? Because again, we can all be very altruistic about what it is that we do for people, but if they can't pay you, you're wasting your time. And that sounds real capitalistic, I guess, but when you're able to find people who will pay you for what you can do, then you're able then to help others who need help that can't pay for it or need a discount, or you can do a scholarship program, or for whatever reason. So those bigger wallets is a very honorable target for this. So let's just say you're a relationship coach, okay? So let's follow this whole process. Their problem is that they want to find a mate. And here's the thing that's interesting about looking at the pillars is that it's not about demographics. A lot of times when you're taught about identifying your target market, they're talking about demographics. Okay, you know, they are between this age and this age. They have 2.5 kids. They live in the suburbs. They have this type of education. Okay, it is not demographics. Okay, so once you identify their problem, their goal in this particular case of a relationship coach is someone wants, you know, they want a mate. So their goal is to find more and better matches. And when you can give them an answer to doing that, they will pay for the help, because that's a really, really important. I mean, that's way up on the, what shall I say, the happy meter. You know, when they have more and better matches, they're going to be happier with themselves. They're going to be happier with their lives. They're going to be getting probably to the one that they're looking for. And of course, the way they're going to do this is through looking at pillar number 3, which is whatever your solution is. Okay, so let me just give you some examples. So let's just say you're a business coach. Okay, so business owners' problems and goals are that they want to make money and they want to save time. So your solution might be a program that helps them reduce employee turnover and create or streamline some kind of a system. Okay. All right, so next, the 4th pillar is finding bigger wallets. You want to find people who have money and that will be motivated because of their problem, your solution, and their goal, and they will pay for your help. So let's just talk about a professional trainer, and we're going to talk about George. Oh, whoops, George. That's Jeannie's husband's name. Didn't even think about that when I was preparing this, Jeannie. Anyway, let's just say that George has been going to the gym every week for 2 years, and you're a personal trainer, and he keeps coming in every week, and he goes, oh man, you know, I didn't lose any weight this week, and gee whiz, I couldn't keep myself away from the barbecue. I'm thinking of Ted here, but he's very lean, so I can't use him as an example. And it's just getting frustrating. But I mean, you're making enough money as a professional trainer or a personal trainer that things are going fine. But you think, you know, I'd really like to up my game a little bit. So instead of looking for Georges, there you are in the gym, you're going to be looking for someone who needs a professional, personal trainer who might be an athlete. Okay, this is their job. They have they're sponsored by maybe a, you know, a shoe company or some kind of a, you know, what shall I say, vitamin supplement company or something like that. And this is their life, this is their job, and they are going to pay someone to get better. So can you see the difference between the Georges out there and someone who is a professional athlete who really, really wants to take his game or her game up a notch, okay? So let's say you're a business coach. And again, we're not looking at people that are in an age group that have a certain number of kids. They're not all men. They're not all women. Their goal is to make more money and to pay for systems that work. Okay, if you're a golf coach, certainly it doesn't matter who you are. If you play golf and love golf, what you want and your goal is to drive or putt better, and you'll pay just about anything that will help. I mean, a whole industry is based on that. The ball that goes farther, all of that. Okay, a professional organizer, for example, who is working with work-at-home parents. Now, if they're work-at-home parents, instead of stay-at-home moms whose income is dependent upon what her husband brings home, and he is the gatekeeper of the money, who do you think is going to win out if he says, honey, I need to put you on a budget? Do you think it's going to be a professional organizer or the person who does her hair? It's going to be the person who does her hair. The professional organizer is an easy one to to say, I don't really need that, okay? So you're better off if you're going to be targeting work-at-home adults, people who are wanting to make more money. For example, real estate professionals are working from a home office. They want to make more commission faster. And if their homes are organized and they know where to find things and they have a system for managing their family and their business in place, they're going to be more successful. Okay, and again, their living depends upon having this process work better, and they're willing to pay for it. Okay, so remember, the 3 steps to better clients is to tap into your expertise. Remember that you have it. You know, a lot of times what happens with all of us, and I've seen it with everyone that's on this call, is we kind of like go, oh yeah, everybody knows how to do that. Well, they don't. That is your X factor. That is what you bring to the table. That is why someone would hire you over someone else, because you're really, really good at that. Secondly, put them through the filter of the big 5 and the 4 pillars. And just as a reminder, here we are. We've built our Parthenon here with your experience in training, the big 5 with the categories where people spend 80% of their money, and then looking at what their big ugly monster problem is, their goal to get to solve it, your solution that can plug into that, and finding those folks who are willing to spend the money. Okay, so those are your 4 pillars. And I wanted to tell you, I know this has been really, really fast today, but I have a worksheet in the members area of the website, and I'm going to see maybe if I can attach this to the replay, because it's really, really helpful to go through this exercise and just put some thought into, am I really pulling in all of this information to find the exact person or group of people that I can really help with this. Okay, so coming up next is next week. Nancy's going to be, again, our theme for May is how to spot the hottest prospects in the room. And she's going to be sharing with us how to spot a person when you're doing live networking, and what their personality style is, and what you can determine by looking at the way they dress, by the way they speak, by the shoes they wear. How is it that you're going to identify these folks so that you know the best words to use when you are when you're speaking with them, either, you know, at the networking event or in a one-to-one sales conversation. So that's it for this week. I'm Jan Saunders-Marish. You can contact me at jan@talksthatsell.com, and you can also call or text me at the number below, 360-903-8976, and you can check me out at talksthatsell.com. And at this point, I'm going to wrap it up and say bye for now. Those of you that are on the line will just go ahead and do some hot seat coaching and answering of questions. I'm Jan Saunders-Marish, and I'm the Talk More part of this team. And
Dr. Nancy Zare with the Sell More. And we'll look to see you next week to your sales success.
Bye for now.